Good evening, folks. This is Deb. I'm going to read you some headlines from this past week, okay? In the wake of Hurricane Helene, okay? So we'll start here. Ohio Senate candidates downplay climate action in closely contested race. Or this one. The presidential debate proved that climate change is not at the center of the 2024 election. Or this one. In West Virginia, the Senate race outcome may shift the limits of U.S. climate action. And now, let's read some of these to you. Hurricane Helene's devastation shows that no region is safe from climate-fueled disaster. Or this one. These 6 places saw their worst storm surge ever during Helene. Or this one. What historic Hurricane Helene tells us about how climate change is supercharging storms. Or this one. 30 killed in one county after hurricane hits North Carolina. I know I already mentioned that, but that was actually a headline. Let me just be blunt. Climate change doesn't give a shit whether or not the politicians and the people want to talk about it. It's merrily moving along across the entire world, even as we speak. And ignoring it is not going to make it go away. Okay? And let me give you some fair warning here. The places where these superstorms are wreaking the most havoc are in the states where the people believe least in climate change and where their politicians want to do less about dealing with climate change than they already are, which isn't much. I'm going to go out on a limb here, folks, and say that in terms of importance, as we think about where we go from here, climate change has got to be right up there with social justice issues, women's bodily autonomy, gun control. Climate change can't be put at the bottom of the list anymore. Some of the people coming into the United States, some of the migrants that I hear the Republicans, talking smack about are coming here because it's already impossible for them to live in their country of origin. And someday that could be us looking for refuge in other lands. So I would suggest to you, on top of all of this, you might want to think about how you're treating these people as they come over here looking for help. My point is this. Electing the Republican Party in November is a sure way to make sure that climate change happens even faster than it already is. Because their plan for the future is to drill, baby, drill, and to marry into fossil fuels, which has been, by and large, the cause of all of this mess. Donald Trump already took us out of the Paris Accords once, and he has already vowed to overturn all of Joe Biden's environmental initiatives. So I'm going to suggest to you, once we have a Democratic Party trifecta, and God damn it, we better pull that off, okay? Because there's an awful lot at stake here, starting with our democracy. And there won't be any fixes for anything without that. But once we are there and we have a Democratic White House, House, and Senate, we need, as a citizenry, we need to push climate change back up to a higher point on the list than where it is right now. We will not survive with this being at the bottom of the list. It is time now for the American people to push the politicians to become good global citizens and work with allies to find a solution to a global problem. There is no boundary when it comes to environmental disaster. This is happening on a global basis, and the world has got to do something about it. And as usual, the United States is going to have to lead the way. So I suggest to you we sweep the Republicans out, push the Democrats in, and let's get to work. I'll talk to you guys later.